I'm not teaching, I'm publicly learning, but hi and welcome to Learning for the Life in the UK test part 19, War at Home and Abroad part 3. That is page 17. So I was a little bit before talking about what kings we all know. We know it was Scottish head leader Robert the Bruce who defeated the English king in 1314 by the Battle of Bannockburn, and King Edward I who declared in the statute of Rutland that Wales is a part of England, and there were then battles, and in the middle of the 15th century Wales was then part of England. And it happened also for the castles Conroy and Carnarvon. And we also know of a king of the Anglo-Saxons who was buried in Sutton Hoo in Suffolk with treasure and armor in a wood ship. And we know of the Roman emperors Julius Caesar, Hadrian and Claudius. And we know of Boudica, I still haven't looked over the name is pronounced, the queen of the Iceni, who fought against the Roman invasion in 43. And we know of King Alfred the Great, who united the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms to defeat the Vikings. And we know of King Kenneth MacAlpin in Scotland, under whom the Scottish people united against the threat of the Vikings' attacks. And now it's possible that I forgot someone else, but the one which I hadn't said the last time was Knud or Canute, and I looked it up. Is this Knud or Canute pronounced? So how we had written it here. Yeah. The first of these England was reigned by Anglo-Saxon kings, but there was a period where Danish kings had ruled it, and the first of these Danish kings was Knud or Canute. And what might be interesting is that we had talked about, because it was the question, the different groups that invaded after the Romans. Now, if Anglo-Saxon kings continued to rule what is now England, except for a short period when 3 Danish kings were doing so, that means that probably there was also some invasion through people from Denmark, except of the Vikings coming from Denmark. But now let's look a bit for war at home and abroad. Now let's just repeat that in 1314, in the Battle of Bannockburn, the Scottish, led by Robert the Bruce, defeated the British, and because of that, Scotland remained unconquered through the English. And the other thing was that in 1284, King Edward I declared in the Statute of Rutland that Wales is a part of Scotland, and the statute is actually something written down. It is basically a law in which something declared. There are some differences, but I couldn't get it so fast. It's a law written down. So something completely else than a statue. What is, for example, on Westminster Bridge for Boudica, the Queen of the Iceni. And I think I saw somewhere a picture of that statue, and it's not just a silhouette or just the head or something, just a little thing. I think what I saw was actually an impressive statue. Let's start a bit with leg injury prevention training, which is at your own risk if you do it. We're having the legs standing wide apart, we're breathing in and out, and again in and out, again in and out. Last round, breathe in, out, and out, and breathe in. Close the legs, and we can initiate the leg injury prevention training. You have a standing leg, the other legs with a flex foot in the air, and we're swinging it in front and to the side, front and to the side. And the toes of the leg which is swinging are pointing more or less the whole time in front. So the toe goes like that, the foot goes like that, and over the other. Again, the leg straight, not with a bended knee in the air. We're having a flexed foot, and we're swinging it to the side and to the side. And we will do directly the next one. Again, a good standing leg. The other leg again in the air with a flexed foot, and we're bringing it in front and back, front and back. A few times more, front and back, and now with the other leg. Front, back, And then we can look what happens new in that section, which is called War at Home and Abroad. At the beginning of the Middle Ages, we had it already. At the beginning of the Middle Ages, Ireland was an independent country. Ireland was independent around 500. Middle Ages are said here were 487, the fall of the Western Roman Empire until 1485. I'm not completely sure why 1485, and it's not written here, so we don't have to know it for British citizenship according to this title. But it's possible that that is the number when the Eastern Roman Empire fell. It was pretty much at least at that date. So from 476 until 1585, that were the Middle Ages in England. According to them here, there are other people who say that the Middle Ages were at other times. They say 476, 1485. And at the beginning, Ireland was independent. Then the first English troops came to help the Irish king, and they remained, so the English troops remained and settled. By 1200, now that 700 years into the Middle Ages, the English ruled an area of Ireland known as the Pale, around Dublin. So in Ireland there is a city which is Dublin, and there is an area called Pale. And it was by 1200 ruled by the English. So there were some things happening around 1200. 1284, Edward I, King Edward I declared an Institute of Rutland. An Institute of Rutland that Wales is a part of England. And at 1314 there was a Battle of Bannockburn in which the English were defeated by the army led by Robert Bruce, and they did not conquer Scotland. And at the beginning of the Middle Ages, Ireland was independent, but the English troops came to help the Irish king, and they were settled. And by 1200, there was an area controlled by the English, which name was Pale, and that was by Dublin. Around Dublin. Some of the important lords in other parts of Ireland accepted the authority of the English king. So they mean the current ruling king was at whatever given time now. Around 1200, 1250, 1300 or something like that. So I don't mean one specific, but the person who had at a given period of time the reign. I don't know the name, vocabulary, but who has the reign. That's already enough to complete a sentence. Some of the important lords in other parts of Ireland accepted the authority of the English king. So there was a region called an area called Pale that is near Dublin, and other important laws. Some of the important lords. So other important lords accepted the authority of English king, I guess was it. And now let's go to the next exercise. We're bringing one leg up into a right angle with the leg, flexed foot, even line hips, we're taller with the back. Now we're bringing the leg to the outside. And we're breathing in. And out we're bringing the leg back into the middle and control down. And we're going to do it again. The leg up, control to the outside, we're breathing in. And out back into the middle and control down. And now with the other leg up, right angle with the leg, flex foot, even line hips, taller with the back, leg to the outside, we're breathing in. And out, leg back into the middle and control down. And again, the leg up, right angle, flex foot, even line hips, taller with the back, leg to the outside, we're breathing in. And out, back into the middle and control down. During the Middle Ages, the English kings also fought a number of wars abroad. So during this period from 476 until 1485, the English kings were not only declaring, that was King Edward I, that Scotland in the Statutes of Rutland, that Wales is a part of England, and were not only fighting in 1314 against the army led by Robert Bruce in the Battle of Bannockburn against the Scottish people, where they lost, And we were not only helping the Irish king with troops, and then settled in Ireland and were accepted by many important lords around 1200 as the ruling authority in Ireland. But we were also fighting abroad of Britain. Many knights took part in the Crusades, in which European Christians fought for control of the Holy Land. Okay, we don't have any more information to that than that. So many knights are basically people who do that not just for a living, but it is their life basically too. It's not just a soldier life, it's also more than that. So I guess the knight is at least enough to understand it if that sentence is enough for the Crusade Wars and the English participation in it. So many knights. They are also royal, more or less pretty royal knights. But not so much, but I don't know it exactly. It depends from century to century, from country to country. They never looked really specific into it. So many knights took part in the Crusades. The Crusades, it is not explained here more than that European Christians fought for control of the Holy Land. So there were multiple occasions where thousands, 10,000s of people had come together in Europe. Some people from Britain, some people from France, or from today's Germany, from the Holy Roman Empire, or from other regions, or from Italy. And I think also, so at least from multiple European countries where we are today, they came together and they then, sometimes they went through, it happens over a course of 200 years or something. And there was some forward later, so it happens there were some decades where nothing happened basically, but when every few decades some thousands, 10,000s came together and they then traveled to Eastern Europe, not just Eastern Europe, to Arabia. I still don't know how that region is called exactly. I have 3-4 names, but I don't know which refers exactly to it. I'm pretty sure that one of them is Levante. So to the region of today Israel, today Syria also, Jerusalem, the area. Jerusalem was the main part. There were big battles. The Battle of Hattin, for example, that was a great defeat in, I don't know, the year 1188, I think. There were many, many big battles, so thousands of European Christians, but not as missionaries. Maybe some also I heard, but mainly as a military act of war, came to western part of Arabia. Most part was today's Israel and Syria and German, but also other regions. Constantinople, that is Byzance, has a part, that is the Eastern Roman Empire. I'm talking a bit too much, but that were great. Many people went there as a military action, 10,000s, and they also conquered. They established the Kingdom of Jerusalem and reigned it for 200 years. That it exists. There were 4 parts. One did not last that long. They reigned in Jerusalem for, I think it were 88 years. So it was not just a little bit crusade. It was an actual going there and fought for control of the Holy Land. The Holy Land is the region called, in the Christian context, where Jesus in Jerusalem, according to the Bible, was, and where he was born in Bethlehem. That is also in today's Israel and in Jerusalem and that whole region. There are many important stories of the Bible and of Christianity happened, and they fought for control over these regions. Where, according to the Bible, many things of the Bible happened. So many knights of Great Britain took part in these crusades, in these military actions to the Holy Land, to that region. And there were some peaceful, I'm pretty sure that there were some peaceful, but it's overly fought for control. It was oftentimes very brutal. And they fought for it. There were other crusades. And I guess that's it. Let's end with a little stretching. Now the last exercise, we're going down. And we're breathing out. And again in. And out. Again in. And out. Yeah, breathing in, closing my legs. And that was a pretty short, but a loose leg injury prevention training. And it was something about war at home and abroad and the Crusades. I thank you very much, and until the next time to part 20 when we continue with war at home and abroad part 4. So thank you very much, and until next time.